Well, good morning, good people of the internet. I happen to be the Zengai of Gaming. Ichigo Musco. But you know me better as Cookie as yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do I have a sword? Well, a lot of things that have been happening this week. And I want to press on these subjects. Namely, the big thing that has been happening this week is equality of marriage. That has been a big issue this week, and I want to touch on that like so. You see, for quite some time, I feel that in the interest of fairness, everyone has a right to be happy. And regardless of if there is, excuse me, excuse me, I know it's rather late, but regardless of there being race, creed, or even sexual preference, everyone has a right to be happy, as well as everyone should have someone they feel comfortable with. And I am the poster boy for said relationships. All of them, except for one, have been rather unhappy. I've gone through a lot of bullshit in the past, but I made it through, and yet the fact that I'm still here should be enough reason to know that I am happy at where I am now, where I'm standing now. I am deeply and utterly satisfied. But, as I said before, equality. I think that's the one thing that most people have been wanting to deal with since, say, back when the rich were no rich and the poor were just poor. And they looked down upon, and the rich looked down upon the poor. You know, the beggars, the ones that couldn't be helped but beg when there was money to be needed to feed their family and their loved ones. You know, that time. And the fact that you know, we still kind of live in this age. We live in the age in which not much has changed. Roles have been different, but not much else has been changed. Now, equality. I'm pretty sure that, you know, there have been revolutions over time. Finally, there is a chance in which everyone, except those who deem not just and, you know, not say, Christian, it's against religion or something like that. Well, let me ask you something. If for some reason explain to me this. How is it that some churches are actually gaining more ground and getting property, whereas they should be focusing on something like, say, share the gospel, share the good word? How often do churches really actually do that? Share the good word instead of being all melancholy and start raving about the end of the world. Newsflash, we're still here. Got it memorized? Marriage has always been about loving one another, trusting one another, going through all the good times and bad. Man and woman have always been through this. Various marriages don't really go off as planned, and some just happen to be, say, they just fizzle out right after the first initial year. It would be the same as if you were in a steady relationship with your boyfriend or girlfriend, depending. You've been like this the entire time. You've been like this the entire time, in which you've been tight. Relationship been good. Nothing could go wrong. Communications are all green. Stuff like that. You decide you want to take the next step. And then what happens? Slowly but surely, for some reason, you lose sight of the whole reason why you two got together over time. And then you will hear, I hate you! No, I hate you. Just like that, All you will hear is two sides of the same coin quarreling over nothing. And this might be, a little past, say, 2 years of the marriage relationship. The pursuit of happiness is not always an easy road to take, all things considering. There are other problems in the world besides sexual preference, creed, race, and nationality. The shit we've actually gone through for over, say, decades. Probably even longer, but for what I know, as I'm living here, decades. We no longer live in the age in which we're somehow in roots. Oh yes, master. No, master. We're no longer in that age. Nor do I want to relive hearing about Kunta Kinte and all that other bullshit like that. I guess I'm sick of hearing about roots. It just make me want to make me want to throw a brick at the TV. I mean, there are so many things that should be dealt with in this world, like, say, the economy. So many people have been out of a job. 2 people in particular in our group are struggling for a job. One is actually trying to get a job, in which I am praying for success. The other Well, still searching. But in any case, economy is a big thing. Instead of bitching and whining about somebody else's happiness, instead of fucking around and, these so-called Christians, the Bible thumpers. I know I'm going to offend some people, but not all Christians are bad. It's the ones that throw their weight around that makes the rest of us look bad. And I mean, I treat everyone equal, whether they're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, alien, nerd, otaku, whatever. It doesn't matter who, but I treat everyone differently. I think it's about time that the rest of the world know this. I mean, time is short, no doubt about that. But there is something we can do to help resolve the problems at hand. I could go into so many details about why we need to focus on what's going on. The bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. There's a war going on against us and North Korea. For what reason, I don't know. But it probably has something to do with something considering WMDs or something like that. Something of that nature. Because God only knows. The reason why our troops were in the Middle East was because of the oil issue. I'm pretty sure whatever is going on between us and North Korea, I hope will get settled. And I'm praying to God that, seriously, the whole thing gets resolved. They come down to some agreement or something like that, and just hopefully end it on a quick and painless note. But I'm just being a hopeful, wishful thinker, which I usually kind of wish all my hopes and dreams did come true and we had a better world to live in. But some things you just gotta deal with. Others, well, Oh yes. To those who actually are going to take offense, do listen. It is not an attack on your person. Basically, it's like this. When it comes to love, which do you rather want to live by? Do you want to live by being happy, or do you want to live by someone's rule? I choose happy over being under someone's rule. I mean, if I were to say I come home after a long day of going on a world tour, the one thing I want to do is come home to a cup of coffee, a good book, and the love of a good woman. That's all. I don't want nothing more. I'd be happiest with just that alone. I don't have to ask for much. All I just say is, how was your day? have a little conversation, have a little hug and kiss, snuggle session, that sort of thing. And, that's the ideal thing. Everybody should be loved. That's the point. I think that's the whole concept of marriage that I feel has been forgotten over time. Why did you marry this person to begin with? And even more so, why can't you remember why you loved this person to begin with? Sure, person's not perfect, but and the point is that you went into this whole relationship for better or for worse. And the only exception I would say is if that person is hurting you, then you have every right to beat that person's ass. Whether it's a man or a woman. Because honestly, there is no love in abuse. But truly, relationships and marriage goes hand in hand. You have to compromise. You have to be 50-50 with each other,